right? So I want to discuss some activities on Boolean logic, but before that, I mean, I have discussed this with you all before, but most probably you will get a question on this. I'll discuss it again, and then we'll move to Boolean algebra. Okay, so I will be discussing social science methods. Social අපි මෙහෙම ගමු. Methods used in social sciences. Right. So, I mean, obviously, natural sciences and social sciences are two different things. If you get a question on this, you have to mention that, right? Natural sciences versus social sciences. කොහොමද මේ දෙක difference වෙන්නේ කියන එක I gave you all a note, right? මම ඒක note එකක් ඔයාලට දීලා තියෙනවා and I explain it as well. ඒක නිසා just go through that note. Natural science කොහොමද වෙනස් වෙන්නේ, social science කොහොමද වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කියන එක, right? And today I'll be doing the research methods or methods used in social sciences, right? The first method that I'll be discussing would be observation. Observation. So in social sciences, we study human beings, right? So we have to observe them. Without observing them, we can't predict anything. We can't come to conclusions in social sciences. But in natural sciences, that's obvious. You can do a lab experiment and then observe. Yes, observation comes there as well. But in social sciences, observation is a must, right? So this observation is something, something like this. Without inferring with the variables, changing variables infer කරන්න නැතුව and observe as it is. So this is what observation is. Okay. So who is being observed? Yes, guys, who is being observed in social sciences? Yes? Isuri, who is being observed?
Social scientist.
In social sciences, yes, who is being observed?
Social scientist.
No. Yes? Isuri? Yes, people, individuals, groups, right? Individuals. Individual people or groups of people, right? How do you observe people? කොහොමද අපි observe කරන්නේ? How? Yes? is how do you observe people? Yes, behaviors, expressions, yes, but how? අපිට මේ මුළු ලංකාවම මිනිස්සු කරන්න පුළුවන් exam ඒ කියන්නේ examine කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Can we, I mean, observe all the human beings? No, right? Then what we have to do? We have to
Experiment.
no, we have to take a sample. Right? Sample එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ. Then only we can, I mean, observe something. Sample එකක් නැතුව අපිට ඔක්කොම observe කරන්න බෑ. Right? And how to observe? Yes. By taking a sample and the methods of observation, ways of observation. I'm just giving this kind of short note ඔයාලට පාඩම් කරගන්න ලේසි වෙන්න. Ways of observation. There are several ways that you can identify. There is direct observation. And also there is indirect observation. And we have participant observation. Right? So we have these three observational methods: direct observation, indirect observation, participant observation. Make a කියද්දිම ඔයාලට තේරෙන්න ඕනේ direct observation කියන්නේ we just go to the sample and we just observe them. Right? ඒවට පොඩි note එකක් ඔයාලට කැමති විදිහට දාගන්න. Direct observation කියන්නේ, I mean, you go to the sample, you select the sample, and you study them, you observe them with your naked eye. Right? And indirect observation means you are not a part of the sample, right? And you are an outsider. You just indirectly observe the participant group, right? And then the last one, participant observation. You are a part of the sample. You are becoming a part of the sample. And ගොඩක් වෙලාවට indigenous people, when social scientists study indigenous people, they එයාලා යනවා indigenous එකත් එක්ක ඉන්නවා, එයාලගේ culture එකත් එක්ක ඉන්නවා ගොඩ කාලයක්, and then they study. So that's this experiment of Nandasena Ratnapala. I can't remember. Wait, I'll check. Let me check that. Yes, it was Professor Nandasena Ratnapala. මේ වගේ වෙලාවල you can write it down as well. Participant observation එකකට example එකක්. That is Professor Nandasena Ratnapala. Right, Professor Nandasena Ratnapala. And he was an anthropologist. And when he is like, when he was writing his book, stellar book, it is called Beggar in Sri Lanka. It's called Beggar in Sri Lanka. He kind of he opted to disguise himself as a beggar. Yeah, එයාවම beggar කෙනෙක් විදිහට හිටියා. As a beggar and lived right. When he was, I mean, writing his book, this Professor Nandasena Ratnapala, when he was writing this book, the book name was Beggar in Sri Lanka. I mean, obviously he was a part of the observation. He acted as a beggar for several months, right? In order to get into that culture. Without, I mean, get into that culture, we can't, I mean, predict things in social sciences. Beggars are alien balala, we can't predict them, right? Predict their behavior. Sometimes, I mean, some people say that like these anthropologists, they say that beggars are more, I mean, wealthier than most of the people. අපි ගොඩක් අයට වඩා beggars ලා they are sorry අපි ගොඩක් අයට වඩා beggars are they are wealthier, right? But that is their profession in a way. And there are some gangs උදේට beggars ලව ඔක්කොම ලව town එකෙන් දාලා යනවා and how should they collect them and they take their money as well. අනේ වගේ එක දේවල් තියෙනවා. So in order to like get to know them, we can't like indirect method එකට අපිට බෑ observe කරන්න. We have to be a part of the sample, a part of the observation, right? So මේ වගේ එකක් ආවොත් we just mention this Professor Nandasena Ratnapala's experiment. Okay, right? Do you have anything to ask?
No, miss.
Isuri, do you have anything to ask? Kanishka?
No, miss.
Right. So, I mean, we can take a sample here and by taking records, we have to take records of things, right? And yeah, what is observed? මෙතන තව එකක් එන්න ඕන. Who, how, and the ways, and also what is observed. ඒකත් දාගන්න. What is observed? They observe what? Hypothesis. Right, did you write this down?
Yeah, miss.
Isaki, did you write? Just write it down. Hurry up. Right. Kanishka, can you take a screenshot and send it to me so that we can send it to Lihini?
Okay, miss. Got it? Kanishka, did you take a screenshot? Yeah, miss.
Right. Then the next,
I sent it to you, miss.
yeah, I got it. Right. Then the next one, the next method that I'll be explaining would be control group experiment. Hi, Lihini, good morning. Dandana Gite.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just started the class and yeah, now we are discussing the methods of social sciences. I mean, uh, when it comes to the methods of social sciences, it's different from natural sciences. Most probably you'll get a question on that. Okay. ඒ ටික තමයි discuss කරගෙන යන්නේ. The first thing that we discussed was observation. I sent the screenshot that Kanishka sent to me. ඔයාට ඒක බලන්න
Oh.
පුළුවන්.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy to understand. I mean, how, let's say, we in social sciences, we observe individual human beings or group, right? And how do we observe them? By taking a sample, and we have to keep records. And there are several ways of observation: direct observation, indirect observation, and participant observation. Direct observation can you go to the sample and you just directly observe them. Indirectly can like you are not a part of the sample, you just indirectly observe them. But the most important part is participant observation. You are a part of the sample. You are, you let's say, you live with the lifestyle. ගොඩ කාලයක් ඉන්නවා indigenous ලව study කරද්දී. So I gave an example. මෙන්න මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් දාන්න. Professor Nandasena Ratnapala's experiment. He wrote a book called Beggar in Sri Lanka. ඒකෙදී he acted as a beggar for several months. A beggars at the Kindala Yalav study Kalamai Potaliwe. So that is one of the best books in anthropology, right, in Sri Lanka. So yes, and what is observed? They observe hypothesis, right? So that's what we discussed. Right,
Okay.
right. So now we have to, now I'll be explaining control group experiment. What is this? In mainly this is used in social psychology. In social psychology and educational psychology. And for example, like let's take about effective teaching techniques. What are effective teaching techniques? Here, we just, group students and do the experiment. That is, that is the basic idea, right? So there is a person called Emil Durkheim. But you can advance your answer by putting these additional details. Emil Durkheim, his theory on suicide. Theory on suicide. When I made theory by using this control group experiment. Okay. And the third one I'll be explaining would be case study. Case study. So what is a case study? Sorry. Guys, what is a case study? Yes. What is a case study?
Kind of.
Studying an incident.
Yeah, in a way, studying an incident, but in a broader sense. Okay, I'll explain. This is something like studying all the situations incidents that are related to the problem. So we study a problem. We have to have a problem to study something. Good question. We don't need to study them. So a problem situation you have to study. So that is actually a case study, right? I'll give you some examples. Something like the progress of an institution. The progress or the deterioration of an institute, right? How this happens. Progress that's not a problem, but if there is a deterioration, that's a problem. So how this happened? Progress how it happened, you have to study. That's a problem. and you have to study all the incidents associated with that problem. And the second one, I'll give you another example. Something like a study on a person with a personality disorder. A study on a person with a personality disorder. For example, let's say some people have stage fear. Neither. Some people have stage fear, shy. කොහෙට හරි ගියාම කතා කරන්න කිව්වම they are very shy. සමහර අය ඉන්නවා like mic එකක් ළඟින් ගියත් they talk, right? That's one of my friends. Like when we were working at our department, when someone asked us to do a speech, at least a thanking speech, we just look at that particular friend and we know that she will save us. අපිව save කරන්න යා, because she has this ability. But in a way, we all have these personality disorders, not stage fear. But a stage fear නැහැ, but සමහර වෙලාවට දන්න කට්ටිය ඉති. When there are when there are people who I have never met, උතර ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. But when there are my friends and my colleagues and all, එතකොට it කියන්නේ සුටක් shy වෙනවා. So that is a personality disorder, right? So තව ගොඩක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. We all have these personality disorders. So ඒ වගේ person කියන්නේ කවුරු හරි individual කෙනෙක් study කරද්දී you have to observe all the situations, right? සමහර විට suppose that I have stage fear. Sometimes one of the incidents happened in my school days, might be the cause for this stage fear. Teacher කෙනෙක් මොන හරි කිව්වා නම් ඔයා හරියට කරන්නේ නැහැ හරි මොකක් හරි එකක්. So that might be the reason. So you have to study all the things, all the incidents associated with a case, right? Is that clear?
Yeah, miss.
Right.
Yeah, miss.
And you can, Isuri, is that clear? Isuri? Okay. We can gather important data by carefully analyzing, right? Carefully analyzing the situation. But
Miss, now it's gonna finish, right?
I
mean,
yeah. Wait a minute. We have 1 minute left. And but you, if this ends, join again. But you can form a generalization. Can you take a screenshot? Lihini?
yeah, I took.
Right. So, but you can form a generalization for special cases. Special cases, you can form a generalization. Right. Join again with the same link.